Hey yo YouTube, Music Man 1310 here, and I have a little bit of something in my throat. Hopefully I'll get that cleared out. But anyways, this episode it's not really an episode. I'm just going to be talking about something, and I'm going to be talking about how to take a loss in anything really. I say this because every time I go into a ranked gameplay, I always see one guy, whether it's on my team or my opponent's team, that just happens to leave. And it's like there's really no reason behind it except for quitting, because oftentimes those leaving happens because they're on the losing side or we're on the losing side. I don't like to do that, but if I'm the last man in my team and I'm up against four people, there's no way that I'm going to be staying for that. But what I wanted to say, what I wanted to say is, my guess is that this is because nobody knows how to take a loss. Really, they think that it's easier to just drop everything and just move on rather than to actually take the loss. Me, if I need to lose, I'm gonna lose. If there's no way for me to win this, I'm going to lose. Here's my trick on taking a loss. I always tell people to take a loss like a man, and a lot of them are like, "Well, how do you do something like that?" Well, to take a loss, really all you need to do is stop thinking that you're the best of the best, that there's no way that you can lose. Because if you look at every single player, especially whether it's real sports or esports or even just any professional, they have taken a loss before, but that doesn't let them stop them. People tend to think that if you lose, then that's the end all be all. You're no good. You're never going to make it. So it's best to just drop it and move on. No, no. If you right now, let's just take Call of Duty esports for example. Right now, the biggest team is Optic Gaming. They're on a 29-3 spree. But don't think of it as they're the God team, because if they were the God team, instead of being 29-3, they would be 32-0. Now, they're the closest of a God team that anybody can get. So, how did they take the loss and still come out on top? They've taken 3 losses already, and they still come out on top. They just keep working. That's really all they. That's really all they do. They just keep working. Then you have those in between guys like FaZe, like Envious, where they're kind of like flexible, really, with their placings, but at the same time, all they're doing is that they're working. They're trying to make things click. They're trying to be the best that they can possibly be, and this goes the same for every esports team, and even every professional team. If you think about it, let's take the business world now. If you talk to a CEO about when they felt the weakest, they're probably going to say when they're starting out, because they made so many mistakes that actually hurted the company, but then they learn. That's the whole trick to taking a loss, that you learn from it. And this actually ties around a quote that I remember hearing that goes, "Those who don't know their own history are doomed to repeat it." Now, this goes with pretty much historical events that are happening now, and with taking a loss. If you take a loss, then you have to recognize that you lost. Why'd you lose? What can you do to make it better? In this case, in Call of Duty, if you take a loss, a lot of the times, in my case at least, I would look at the leaderboard, see how people did as far as stats. Now, a lot of times when my team loses, I would say like a good 87% of the time, uh, uh, my team loses because I was carrying a team that couldn't be carried. What I mean was that I'm the one that's going positive. I'm the one that's playing the objective, and we lost because my teammates couldn't do the same. Here's an example. I remember getting a game played that I don't think I've shown on here, and I don't think I ever will, where I went, where it was hardpoint on ranked. Now, this is one of those full team games, like nobody left and blah 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 blah. But at the same time, I believe 37-23 with 10 captures and 4 defense. That to me is good standings for me as a player because I played the objective and I was able to stay alive and pretty much hold on to that objective the longest that I can. I look at my teammates and I see 5-17. I see 3-24. I see a lot of bad stats. And as far as playing the objective, 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, 0-1, not even. So it's like. Yeah, that's one scenario on why did my team lose because they couldn't hang, I guess. I don't know of a better term off the top of my head, but they couldn't hang with the people that we were playing against. I could, but they couldn't. Now another reason why my team would have lost, and this is still based on my experience, is if nobody, not even myself, can play the game. There's some games where my teammates get the same stats that I mentioned before, but I look at my own stats and I didn't do any better. So that's one thing that I need to work on. I need to work on my slaying capabilities. Pretty much I need to stay alive the longest and hold it down the objective the longest possible, and hopefully that would help win the team if I ever team with those guys again. Now another thing. Now keep in mind that that's like another 4 or 5% reason. Another reason why my team loses is because we get people leaving because they can't take a loss. I've had so many games where, especially in uplink, where uplink and capture the flag, they're both kind of the same thing but kind of not. I've gotten games where I was the last guy on my team, and even though I went bad, I went like 32 and 40 something. I still got the best scores within the lobby. That to me is just a sign of gratification. No, not gratification. Satisfaction. But knowing that I could hang with these guys, but my teammates couldn't, that's just disheartening, and it kind of offends me to a sense, simply because people want the easy win, and they just don't know that you have to work for the win. It's not going to be easy. I'd rather work for a win than get an easy win. Another good example, actually, for one of the reasons why I lost, and this actually, I wish that I had saved this game because it just shows that I'm really good. I was playing Search and Destroy on Retreat. Now, what happened is off the bat, I was left alone. Off the bat, round one. But instead of actually leaving with them and just giving the other team a free win, I decided, you know what? Let them work for the win. What ended up happening was that round one, I went 3-0 and got the round win simply because the last guy on their team didn't spawn in time. There we go. Now after that round, 2 of them left. So keep in mind, this was a 1v2 all the way. I wish I could go into more detail, but all I can say is that the final score was 5-6. I lost, but that's because I got outplayed at the last round. That's really all that happened. And the last round was a 1v1. I managed to pick off one guy early, but overall, I lost because I got outplayed in a 1v1 last round. I thought that if I had won, that it would be a YouTube video, but that didn't end up happening. But I didn't let that get to me. I thought I still had a blast playing that game. I still went on, and by the end of preseason, this happened in preseason, by the way. By the end of preseason, I became a Master Division player. Now I'm trying to work my way back to it, but it's kind of harder now because skill-based matchmaking puts me with people of my similar skill. And to me, while I do appreciate it and I do think it gives that much of a challenge, it's still not a lot of people can handle that, and I just don't know why. So if you ever think about leaving the game simply because you're losing, just don't. Just take the loss, move on. Think that if you're worried about your stats, then leaving the game is going to count as a loss anyways. And if you want to be the best and win games, regardless, you're going to lose. So what makes rage quitting better than losing? Rage quitting pretty much prevents you from having to see that you suck. Well, yes, you would suck. But at the same time, who cares? You can still perform better if you work at it. That's it for the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Let me try that again. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more. I do have a Twitter. It'll be in the description below. It is MusicMan1310 signing out. Peace.